Hey guys, welcome back, or hello if you guys are new. Welcome to my channel. My name is Bree, and if you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the little bell to be notified when I upload a new video. So today's video is going to be all about a new foundation from Makeup Revolution. We're going to be trying and putting this to the test. It is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. So I'm obsessed with doing foundation reviews and first impressions. These types of videos are actually one of my favorites to film. I love sitting down and just trying out new foundations and just putting them to the test. So if you guys are interested in seeing all about this foundation, let's go ahead and hop right on in. Alright, so a little backstory on this foundation before I go ahead and get started. It is still packaged, so I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. I did get the shade F8. So this foundation has been out in the UK for a little while. It is a London brand, so it's been there for a little bit. And then for the US, it did just release, I want to say like a few weeks to a month ago online. And it did just get released in store at Ulta October. But I was going to get this foundation online until I looked at the shade range and I just could not, for the life of me, decide what shade I'd be. I know that sounds really bad, but the way that they name their foundations kind of like threw me off. I just could not figure out my shade, so I'm really praying that this is my shade. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. So this foundation is about $12, and I think that's really reasonable. It is a drugstore foundation, so of course I love when drugstore foundations are in that range. And I have heard amazing things about Makeup Revolution. I have not tried their concealer, which I heard is like the biggest thing. So I haven't tried that, so I can't really base it off anything in this line. So a little backstory on this actual foundation itself. It says it is the Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation, offers lightweight yet buildable coverage designed to fit every skin tone and every skin type, which is a really big claim. It is oil-free yet creamy, comfortable formula, dries down to a long-lasting demi-matte finish. Exciting, because I don't love a full matte face, you know? It's supposed to not settle in fine lines. It's not supposed to cling to any dry patches. It is in this really pretty luxe type of bottle, which I do appreciate and like that it looks more luxury-like. I love the colors of it, and just the packaging itself is pretty nice. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up now. It does have a jumbo doe foot applicator, which I thought was also really cool. Now, I'm not one to really use those. I like either the squeezy tube or the one that has a pump. That's just like the foundations that I tend to go to. This one actually right off the bat does remind me of the Tarte Shape Tape foundation and the Clinique. So this is what the packaging looks like. I love the frosted glass. Very nice, very elegant looking. Love the rose golds or like rosy pink packaging on it. So when you open it up, whoa, it does have the jumbo applicator, which of course still reminds me of those two foundations. So two of the higher end foundations it does remind me of right off the bat. Oh, I don't love the smell right now. We'll see what it feels like and smells like when it's on my skin, but it does smell a little bit like painting, a little bit like paint, which is kind of a bummer, but we'll see what it's like when it's actually on my skin. So this is also vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, and oil-free. So we're gonna go ahead and hop right on in and see what this is all about. I'm really excited to try it out. The only thing that also I'm noticing is that the actual ounces on here is less than a typical foundation would be. So this is 0.8 fluid ounces when the typical foundation is 1.0. I'm gonna go ahead and prime my skin quickly using my Makeup Forever, but I'm just gonna be putting it really into my T-zone and where I have the most visible pores. I did already have like my facial oil on from before. My skin is pretty hydrated, but I just like to kind of lock in these pores. So I'm gonna go ahead and do one side of my face using the Beauty Blender and then another side of my face using a brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with this. Like I said, mine is in the shade F8. Here's a close-up of it. I don't know, I just feel like their shade range is just a little bit complicated to go off of because I feel like I can mix two shades. Like we all know, if you've been watching, disclaimer, I like to mix my foundations to get my perfect match. So I don't know if I'll be doing that today. I only picked up one, but I feel like I could be using this color and then also use a very like light color, like F4 or something to mix together, just because of the undertones. So we're gonna see. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off. This looks pretty dark for me. I'm going to apply it like right off the bat right here. Oh, it is pretty full coverage. Like that covered a lot right away. It does have more of like the warm undertone. And to be honest, when I do my foundations, I do like to go for more of a deeper color or a little bit of a darker color. And then with my concealer, it all kind of tones down and balances each other out. So I don't mind that. But if it's too orange, like that kind of tone, I really can't work with that. So I'm gonna take the Beauty Blender and kind of start bouncing it in. I'm of course gonna blend down to my neck just because obviously, I don't know if you can see on camera, it is a little bit darker than my skin tone, but it is full coverage. Like, can we just look at that for a second? That is pretty full coverage. I don't mind that at all. Wow, I had like a pretty red area right here. It's like under the skin type of situation happening. It's not really a pimple yet. I don't know what's going on, but it was red right here and now it's kind of like gone. That's pretty good. So they say that because it has the jumbo applicator like this, you're not going to be wasting as much product. I'm just going to add a little bit more to the forehead area. I am breaking out a little bit more than usual in my forehead area. I'm not sure why, but I also did go ahead and pick it, so that's probably why. But it is a full coverage. Like, you definitely can see that that's full coverage. I do like it so far. Okay, so don't mind that I just literally scratched my collarbone with my nail. Don't ask how that even happened. But yeah, this is the one side with the Beauty Blender. I can of course go more and add another layer on top of it, but I'm gonna leave it for right this second and then I might go back in a little bit. We're gonna go to this side now and use the brush. So I'm gonna apply it the same exact way. When I blend it down to my neck, I think it is an okay match. I think I'm fine, especially when I go in and add my concealer. I think it'll be totally fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it like so. It's very full coverage. Like, I'm agreeing with that 100%. It definitely looks like skin-like. Like, it totally can get away with looking natural and like my skin, but you can also definitely build on top of it. It does not look cakey at all. It feels really healthy on my skin and it doesn't feel like it's wet still, which is good. I'm just gonna apply a little bit more. And honestly, I feel like I'm dipping more times back in here. Maybe it's just all in my head, but they're saying you're supposed to be saving more product. I feel like I'm dipping more in to get more product. Maybe it's just how much I'm actually using. Or maybe that's in my head. I don't know. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this. It does look a little bit darker on this side. I'm not sure why. Maybe I applied too much. I'm gonna start off with stippling motions all the way to the ear, the neck, just so we have an even complexion. You get more coverage using this brush. Noticing that right now, you can see that there's higher coverage here as opposed to this side looks a little bit lighter. But it's, again, to each its own how you like to wear it. So you can build this foundation up like they claimed. So it does do so. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start stippling and blending it in. Yeah, I like the way that it applied a lot better with the brush. It just looks more full coverage like. This one kind of obviously looks a little bit sheared down. I'm gonna take a tiny bit more and just apply it right here in the middle of my face, like just a tad. Just to kind of give a little bit extra coverage right there. And then I'm also then gonna go in with some concealer after I blend this out and finish up my whole routine. Yeah, you see adding a tiny bit more just kind of helps this area. I really do like this foundation though. I'm not even playing around. Like I like the way that this is giving that nice coverage. Okay, so honestly, I don't want to touch any more with any more foundation. I honestly like the way this is looking on my skin. It looks pretty darn good. I didn't really count how many swipes I put on each side. I know that I did go over it a tiny bit more in some spots that I felt needed a little bit more coverage or just wanted to see if it would become a little bit more buildable, which it definitely did. So I like that fact. So I just went in and applied some concealer. I'm still like blending it out. I'm obsessed with this right now. And I use the Born This Way from Too Faced in conjunction. I think this looks phenomenal. Like, I don't even think I need to set this foundation, which is so odd for me because I'm always setting my foundation. Like, that's just a must. But I think I'm just gonna add a tiny bit under this direct under eye just so that we get no creasing at all. But as for the rest of the skin, I don't think I'm gonna set, which is like such an odd thing for me to say. It does claim to be demi matte, but I feel like it's like not demi matte. I don't know. I just think that I don't need to set because then I feel like it's gonna be sucking the life out of my skin. With this foundation right now is working wonders. Like, okay. No, I'm not, like, I'm being so serious. I love this right now. I'm gonna take a tiny dab of this foundation again and just kind of hit this pimple area, this little blemish, and blend that in. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup off camera and I will be back. All right guys, so I am back now with full face all finished, just did some quick glam and some lashes and lips. And I have got to tell you guys, I didn't set the remaining of my face. I just set the direct under eye and like a tad by my chin, and that's it. And my skin feels great. I think it looks really good. Like I think it looks really healthy and I really love the coverage of this foundation. Like I think it looks phenomenal to me. I don't know. I can't really compare it to another one just yet at least, but I definitely like the way that it went on. It glided on really easy, pretty buildable, and it's so inexpensive at the drugstore. Like I feel like it's definitely a new drugstore foundation for me. And I think I forgot to tell you this earlier, but my skin type is more of the normal to combo. So I definitely feel like I can get away with using this foundation. It is more on the matte side, but it's definitely not a demi matte. I feel like it's definitely more matte, like straight up matte. So I like it. I didn't even have to like spritz my brush for my highlighter, which is kind of odd. I guess because I didn't set my face, it still had something to stick to, I guess. But I absolutely love this foundation. Like I said, it is 12 to 13 bucks at Ulta right now, and I'm pretty in love with it. So I'm gonna keep on wearing it for the rest of the day. And if I don't do a check-in back here like live for you guys, I will have everything listed down below in the description. I absolutely love the finish of it. I think it really does look like your skin, but better. It really covered up all of the imperfections that I had and like my pimples and, you know, all the good stuff, the redness. So I'm excited about it. I have yet to try out their concealer, which I think I'm gonna do that next. I know I'm very late and I need to hop on that bandwagon. And also the smell of it, when I said earlier that it smelled like a little bit of paint, it honestly doesn't smell that way when it's on my skin. And when I was applying it, I didn't really notice it at all. Like I forgot about it. It's when I first initially opened it up, that's when I kind of got the whiff of it. But I mean, you could smell it on the tube like a lot. You can smell that it smells like paint straight up from here. But when it was on my skin, I don't notice it. So that is pretty good that you don't actually smell it when you're applying, at least for myself. I didn't notice that. And it does look really, really good, like on my cheek area. You don't see any texture being like clung onto or anything like that, especially like even under my eyes. Like I only put a tiny bit of that concealer on and it looks pretty like snatched. I hope I covered everything. Sorry if this was like all over the place. I was just super excited to try it out and I really love the way that it looks. I really, really love it. And yeah, I believe that is all for this foundation review on the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. If you guys tried it out, let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to hear and chit chat with you. But I definitely love it right now. So I will keep you guys posted down below in the description if I don't hop back on camera. So be sure to check that out. And I believe that is all for this video. And I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.